In 2016, I resisted the temptation to film out of plane windows. Well, mostly anyway. I went to Paris and Venice and Switzerland and Middlesbrough. Why Middlesbrough? Because bungee jumping, that's why. Cool and much better than the last time, because we all remember how that went. I went to Hawaii with my girlfriend Amanda and we accidentally left the trail, which was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. We were lost for several hours with no phone signal in dense jungle. And thanks to a freak rainstorm and some really slippery mud, at one point I ended up almost about to slip off a cliff, and there was about a 700-foot drop in front of me. It was really, really scary, and I think at that moment I genuinely thought I was going to die. But I didn't, and later that year we went to Vancouver Island.
In my head, like, Gifts is still there and it's still the same.
Where we rode in a plane and managed to go hiking without getting lost, which we thought was a pretty good achievement. We also didn't get lost in Joshua Tree, which I thought looked like a cartoon, and had more stars than I could have thought possible.
Are you taking a video of me?
I am, yeah. In retrospect though, an isolated cabin in the desert probably wasn't the best place to introduce Amanda to the X-Files for the first time. Live and learn. Through work, I was able to spend the summer in LA with Amanda, which really felt like a dream. Don't break my heart. Although, taking my bicycle to Los Angeles proved to be a mistake. I cycled it once, and even though I was in the bike lane, somebody opened their car door onto me, and I flipped over, and it was no bueno. But yeah, the lady who hit me offered me $20, which I of course refused. And I think she'll be more careful next time, and that's kind of, you know, like, if you're cycling in a city where people don't cycle, you gotta accept these kind of things. When Amanda got accepted to university, we cancelled our plans and jumped on a flight to Atlanta. There we had a fantastic view of the 4th of July fireworks right from the balcony of our Airbnb. We visited the Georgia Aquarium, where you can scuba dive with whale sharks, and we decided that we'll do it one day when Amanda has her scuba certification. That summer was the most magical of my whole life so far. I jumped off high things, I went swimming a bunch of times.
Ready for the real one? Let's do this. Let's do this. I believe in you. And again, I don't believe in you because you cannot do a handstand inexplicably. I thought you said you figured out the flaw.
I bought a pregnancy test for a friend and then celebrated with them when it was negative. I went to some cool parties where I mostly just stood against the wall and wondered why... That was terrifying. I went to some cool parties where I mostly just stood against the wall and wondered why they make the music so loud. I learned to drive, which because of my eyesight I never thought I would be able to do. See, I don't meet the UK vision requirement for driving, but I pass with flying colours in the United States. That should terrify you. It really feels like Grand Theft Auto. Ironically, later that summer it was Amanda that got pulled over by the police. She's a much faster driver than I am.
Well, that's what I told him. I was like, I probably have license.
Yeah. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And then the summer ended, and I had to go back to London. My flatmate decided to move out, so I also moved out, and now I'm living by myself, where I have a much better commute, but also get pangs of loneliness at 3 in the morning sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I like London. I like that you can be walking through the streets and see a protest or a parade and feel like Ferris Bueller. Some people say Britain is out of date when it comes to warfare, but I disagree. But not being with the person that you love can feel lonely, and video chat only takes you so far. And that sucks. I don't cry very much. But I cried today, I think mostly out of frustration. In 2016, I tried to be healthier with mixed success. Unfortunately, my weight loss graph kind of went bloop, 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 bloop. And then about halfway through the year when I stopped being so careful with my food, it went straight back up. So hoping to do better on that in 2017. I think I'm gonna try and focus on doing more exercise. Oh, and one last thing. In 2016, I did propose to Amanda and she did say yes. I wasn't lying when I said that summer was pretty magical. Also, side note, that Facebook post was seen by so many people that I'm pretty sure that Facebook isn't actually a social network. I think it's a thinly veiled engagement announcement machine. Anyway, I hope that you had a lovely year. I know on a macro scale it wasn't the best year, but I really hope that we can find individual moments where, you know, we had good times or we have hope for the future. My hope for the future, I'm hoping that next year is the year that I'm able to move in with Amanda properly, or at least get into a position where I'm not going to be in another country as her forever. But, you know, navigating international borders is not a fun thing, but love will prevail. All right. Excuse me. That's asthma. All right, thank you very much, and I will see you soon.